Hi, welcome to Africa2U. Welcome to the edition on crafts and indigenous skills of the African people. I'm Vivian Birchall, your host. Craftsmanship was a way of life, and there still is a way of life of the people in Africa. And these were passed on from generation to generation. And the crafts that were made were used in the households, were used in wars and in trade. And so it is a big part of the African people. And this, sadly, it's one of the things that is slowly fading out of the culture. And this is because a lot of the education has moved from the indigenous training and more into the formal education. And this at the cost of all these skills. So we look at, when we look at communities, for example, in Uganda, there were many people who used to make things like back clothes for clothing. But that is no longer a trend because of modern clothing, and instead we have designer clothes from elsewhere that are imported from the rest of the world. And yet, when you look at things like back clothes, they were very sustainable and very good to the environment, and the skills were really easily passed on from one generation to another without much cost. We have so many youth who are unemployed on the continent because they don't have any more skills. So anyway, we have many craft villages in all over Africa. And when I was recently in Uganda, I went to one of them, and you'll be seeing it in this show, with lots of crafts ranging from walking sticks for the elderly to instruments, musical instruments, clothing, toys. And it is the richness of this culture that makes it unique. I would recommend to put at the forefront these indigenous skills as a way of sustaining the lives of the people there, and also as a way of giving the youth a chance to make a living out of something that doesn't require a lot of formal education, because formal education, those who do not have money are missing out. And because it's the trend, they have no formal skills from the indigenous trainings, and then they don't have formal education. And as a result, there is a breakdown in society because they are angry, they are jobless, and they are desperate. But if they had something to do, carpentry, building, making all kinds of things at a large scale, then we would have reduced unemployment and underemployment rates on the continent. But again, that's just my opinion. And there are many people who would say that, no, that is not the solution, but there can't be just one solution to our challenges on the continent. In previous episodes, I talked about people having specialized skills like surgery, midwifery. Is that a word in English? But, well, the midwives. They used to help with the delivery of kids. So we don't have much of that anymore, but in the urban areas. In the rural areas, they still do take the traditional way of doing these things, of having kids, and because of the limited access to modern medical health facilities. But imagine if we had a society where many generations are being taught the skills of getting people well and even improving those skills. We would have a community in Africa of specialists in these very specialized things. Let's take a break, and I'll be telling you more about African skills and crafts.
How we make baby dolls. This is the head. I am going to do a little of hair around here. So I am going to make hands separately, and I'll fix them in here. I'll cut to make the doll even. And this is a baby girl.
Okay.
It's a doll and it's a girl.
Say hi to Africa2U.
Hi, Africa2U.
Thank you. Welcome to Africa2U. This is a mat. It's woven by people in Uganda, and it is used for household purposes, of course, obviously, and the mats are made in very different colors. But the things that make the mat are palm leaves, so which we call nsansa. I'm going to assume that each of these represents a leaf, of a palm leaf, sorry. So if there are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, let's start with that for simplicity. So we'll get 3 leaves and try to merge them to loop them together. And of course, I'm not the best at demonstrating how things are done, but I'll give it a shot. So this is one of the leaves that has gone through the different, under one leaf and over the other. And then I'll get the other side and bring the same. So I will It's so hard when I'm improvising with this because it's not the real thing. but I'm going to do my best. And maybe someday, when I have the real thing, I can demonstrate again. There we go. So it is I will show you when I'm somewhere more advanced how much progress I have made. So as you can see, I am weaving it, and once it becomes longer, then the person makes many of these and then ties them together, and they form a whole mat. It's just like crocheting, but using the hands. And I don't know whether crocheting is a better representative or knitting. Sometimes the two confuse me. But anyway, they just weave the mat, and at the end of it, it will come out nicely woven and tied together and joined together with one of these, actually, the raffia. And then they'll actually, the end of it, the joints of it are tied together by a raffia skirt, and this has been colored. The different leaves are dyed to make the different colors of the mat. So all this is dyed leaves, dried leaves. So anyway, that's how we make the mat. And these are some of the skills that can be taught to both adults and children. Africa is blessed with color, music, smiles, everything good that you can think of, regardless of what you see on the news. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Africa2U. For more about Africa, visit us on our website at www.africa2u.org. If you want to watch more episodes, please visit the ActonTV YouTube channel, africa2u.vivian@gmail.com. Just send me your requests, any questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Till next time.